Welcome to my space. Hi, my name is Ntsiki. I am the founder of MentHer. We are a global mentorship network for female entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals who are looking at making impact. I am a coach. I work with people around emotional intelligence, resilience, personal mastery, as well as setting up a business that has impact. I'm a professional speaker and an author. And what a lot of people don't know is that I live on a farm.
All right, so this is life on a farm. Where are you taking us?
So I farm bees. I used to farm garlic as well, but garlic is a winter crop, so we don't have anything in the ground at the moment except for our lovely orchard of trees. But yeah, we have bees, so we have honey all year round. I'm still testing the whole process of bee production, but the vision is to, one, give people lovely honey, and two, I have very sensitive skin, so I'm trying to figure out how to make skin products that are infused with honey.
Am I safe?
Yes, you are safe because we're not going to touch the hive. So we don't work with bees during the day. You work with bees early in the morning as the sun is coming up, or late in the afternoon. That's when they are the most calm. But like broad daylight, sun at its peak, you don't be playing around with the bees. Also because these are South African honey bees. And a lot of people don't know this. All the bees from the Karoo downwards into the Western Cape is one species of bees, and all the bees above the Karoo all the way up to Kenya is a different species of bees. Those are dangerous, but the ones that you see in America and other parts of Europe, pretty calm bees, which is why you don't often see people wearing beehive equipment when they're dealing with those bees. So I won't open this. So we've got one beehive box. The opening is on that side, so the bees come home this way, and then you'll see we've got a second box over there. And if you zoom in closely on this side, you'll see the opening and the bees coming in and out of that side. And then we have about 6 of these around the property. It's been a good pilot, so I'm ready to scale up and get a couple of more boxes, and you can call me up for some honey.
How long have you been living on a farm?
So believe it or not, I've actually lived here for about 20 years. We moved here when I was in grade 6, and then we did like a whole mission from here to school in the East Rand because I didn't want to lose my position as prefect going into grade 7.
Would you consider moving to the city?
Yes and no. Yes, if I could find a plot of land in the city where I could recreate a little haven for myself on a daily basis. Like, I've gotten quite used to zero sound, clear skies, fresh air, no neighbors.
No neighbors.
I mean, I have a neighbor, but he's like both our neighbors are like hectares away from us.
And how safe is it?
Pretty safe. So we've got like a community group and everyone's on the thing, and then different people live on different properties. But we pretty much know everyone who's in and around here. And if you don't know that the set of houses exist here, you'll just drive past on the highway and think it's vacant, empty land.
Oh, this is you.
Yes.
In your workspace.
In my workspace.
Okay, take us through. What's with the candles?
I like and you can see this is a new candle. It's vanilla, so I love to work with candles. Just creates just like a calm vibe, which I love. And then also because load shedding, so I got this cute little battery operated lamp that I can just pop on whenever I need. Generally on my desk you'll always find my laptop, a ring light, a desk ring light just in case I need to shoot content, my glasses, my set of keys which I need to pop in here. And please don't ask me, okay? I'm a pen hoarder. I'm sure some of these don't work. Some of these are sentimental because they were a gift from someone. So like this is not this one. This is this has my initials on it. I want to say, I'm tempted to say it's a Parker pen, but I'm not sure. I think it's a Parker pen. But somebody gifted me this, and like it doesn't work anymore. But like I still have it. So don't judge my pen stack. Okay. And then sometimes I record with this, And then generally I like to keep my desk clean, so I have 2 Bibles. This one is my Bible study Bible, and then whatever content I'm busy Bible studying at the moment, and a notebook. And the stuff that I don't want to see is all underneath here.
How important is faith in your journey?
Extremely important. So I'm a big believer in purpose, and one of the ways that I think you define your purpose is understanding that you're created in God's image, and then figuring out in terms of your gifts and your talents, what has God sent you here to do, which is more intricate. And I think foundationally, even if you don't know what your gifts and talents are, we were created in the image of God with the intention of being rulers over the earth, right? He gave us power, dominion, and authority to cultivate the earth, and so your gifts and talents should be used to cultivate the earth, and post Jesus should be utilized to bring the kingdom of heaven unto earth. So that's kind of how I think about purpose, and then overlaying the things you know how to do in order to bring that to fruition. One of my favorite scriptures is 1 Peter 1, and it writes and it says that God has given us all things pertaining to life and to godliness. And I think the church is very good at godliness and seeking God and praying and all of those things. And we don't often look at the life part, right? Because God was like, okay, but I gave you the stuff that you need for life. So when I think about business, I think about how would God do business and what would kingdom business look like? And then utilizing scripture to guide me, because there's some pretty dope businessmen in the Bible.
Beautiful. Take us through what we see behind you.
Okay, so up here, so this was actually from a birthday party that I had with friends. It's my initials and the lights come on, which is so much fun. I'll come back down to this. But then up here we've got the M, which is for my surname, but I put it up here because it's also M for mentor. And we have in 2019, I self-published my first book, My Whole of Mentors, right, which is in my bookshelf. So I self-published this book, and at the time I thought I also wanted to have a magazine. So this was the first draft of the magazine cover, and it was literally just going to be Mentor. And then later on I did my master's in social innovation, and I realized I wanted to actually create a whole business around this and then use the publication as a tool for inspiration and providing information. But I wanted to create a business that could support women to support their communities, right? So if you think about across Africa, women are the heads of households because of divorce or husbands being away or whatever it is, and people depend on women in our societies. So support women to create impactful businesses to be able to uphold and uplift their societies. So we came up with MentHer magazine. That was the very first issue that we did. It's a lot easier to put yourself on the cover while you start to figure things out. And this was our second issue with Eunice. I met her in the UK. She's super phenomenal, and she agreed to be on the second cover. And then we also launched the MentHer Social Impact Founders List, and this was our first rendition of that with all of the entrepreneurs that had been nominated to be on that list on the cover. As you can see, I love books. I've always been a reader. So this shelf over here is all the incoming books. So everything that I still need to read is in here. And when I pick up a book to read, it then moves to my bedside table so that I'm like, okay, this is actively being read. And then it'll be reallocated to whichever shelf. This shelf is all my faith content, including, this is one of my favorite things, a Bible that, this was my grandmother's Bible, and it's the only thing I think that I took after she passed away. You can see it's leaved.
I can see
it's leaved alive. And it like still has her handkerchief in here. And then I have Ikudo like here as well, which has all the songs that they sing at church. But yeah, all my faith stuff is in this particular shelf. This is my box of important things like passports and whatever I need at any particular point in time. This is business reading books. And then down here I have emotional life, personal development, novels, journal stuff. And then this is all the knowledge I learned from Bible college. Yeah, this is all Bible college. And here,
Bible college with all of that. You could be a pastor, Mos.
I mean, you know.
Is there a calling somewhere?
We will see. I'm not completely ordained, but I could marry you if you needed. You know, you know,
That is cool.
I could facilitate a healing or two. And then over here I have Destiny magazine. Like, I was obsessed with this magazine. These are I had to do a cleaning at some point, so I gave away a bunch of issues, and then I just went through the issues that spoke the most to me, and I kept those, and those are in my shelf. And then we don't need to worry about the rest. But there is a compartment over here that is journals galore. One thing about me, I love a journal. Like, I love a journal. I think actively at the moment, I am journaling 100 Days of Believing Bigger. It's a devotional journal, but you can think through just how do you want to believe bigger and just go through some reflections. So if you ever want to give me something, a journal or a piece of land.
This looks like a podcasting station. What's with the mic on the desk?
Yeah, so I am ashamed to admit that I got this 2 years ago with the intention of podcasting. And, it just kind of lives here as a reminder that I want to be a podcast girly.
2 years later.
2 years later. So, interesting fact about podcasting. I used to podcast, I want to say 7 years ago. I used to be the partnerships manager at Small Business Connect newspaper. And one of the things that we did around raising awareness for small businesses was to create a podcast. But podcasts were not a thing at the time. So we did it, but it didn't catch on or whatever. So I've always been in the space of podcasting. Last year with MentHer, so last year being 2024, we launched our Close podcast, which is conversations with investors and entrepreneurs on how you close and stories of how people have closed and just knowing how to make that big sale, how to raise that first round of capital. And we did six episodes of that just as a test. So 2025, we're committing to be back and big with podcasting.
This is recorded and live, right?
So I've heard.
Accountability.
It's on my vision board. I will have a podcast in 2025. We're going to do more episodes of the Close podcast with MentHer. And then if we evolve out of that, we will see. I also had an on and off podcast with a friend of mine called Bread and Wine, which is a faith-based conversations podcast. And we'll see if we bring that back. So I'm all about, and this is one of my things in business as well. I'm all about testing. I'm all about piloting. Just see if it works and get some feedback. Change what you need to change. Keep going, but also be consistent at it, right? So learning, growing, shifting, and adjusting are all keys in how we grow and become successful in business.
Talk to us about your business journey.
My business journey. So part of my business journey actually starts with this farm, with my parents moving us here and them establishing a business. We had Pamanda Properties and Pamanda Farming. And so we bought a couple of student properties and we started doing that. And I was in high school at the time, so I was just the sales and running on the ground girly. But the older I got, the more involved I got in the business and helping my parents grow that business to now, I think, over 10 million kind of asset, is kind of where I cut my teeth in learning how to do business. When I was at uni, I did a business with a friend of mine, I think second year, and we launched again a magazine called Cream. But that was actually a cartoon around, the cartoon was called Young Hustler, and it was focused on telling the lessons of how to start a business from the perspective of someone who lives in a rural area, and giving those lessons, but also overlaying it with practical life lessons, so you could actually see how that translates in real time. And then from there, I've just always been involved in different things until I settled on doing MentHer, which is our global network for female entrepreneurs and investors focused on creating impact, and then also launching AGY, which stands for A Greater You, and that is my coaching business, and we are focused on creating great people, because I've realized on my one-on-one coaching or working with entrepreneurs, I suppose it's the nature of humans that we struggle with doubt, but I found that if you can just push yourself beyond the abyss of doubt, there's greatness on the other side. So I want to help people unlock the greatness that's within themselves, identify what they're good at doing, and to be able to create businesses or generate revenue or additional streams of income doing what is their natural gifting.
All right, let's get to some tips. What's the worst thing you've experienced as an entrepreneur?
The worst thing I've experienced as an entrepreneur is losing 50K.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that's still hoping this person's gonna pay me back. But again, you learn and so we're trying to pilot, we've been working on piloting a venture capital angel investment vehicle as part of MentHer. And so we identified a couple of businesses and we invested in one business that does invoice funding, and then obviously pays you back at the end of the invoice. Do-lo-lo. Do-lo-lo.
What did that teach you?
Yeah, hey, like, don't. No, I mean, I think one, the lesson in there is there could have been a different kind of stringent process on due diligence and coming to that decision. I think secondly, also being, I'm not a micromanager by my personality. I don't like being micromanaged, but I think if you're investing in something, I get why some investors can be, I don't want to use the word micromanaging, but can be like intensely involved. So I think even there, like the handover of knowing what's happening post that and what's the plan of actually doing this and having some form of checking in to go, are things going as planned? Insurance. And then also, yeah, sometimes you're just going to take an L, and that's okay. Just make sure that your pocket is ready to take the L.
Okay. Best experience as an entrepreneur?
Best experience, I would say. So we paused MentHer magazine at the end of 2022. I was feeling personally exhausted. I was mentally going through a lot, and I just didn't have what it takes to continue. And so we rebooted it this year. So first issue is coming out at the end of January 2025, which I'm super excited about. And I remember just sitting down to go, what do we do, and planning the strategy, and then looking back at what we created. And that made me really happy, right? And I think the moment and the opportunities you get to look at what you've done and be like, man, that was in my mind, and now it's out there. How cool. I think that's consistently a highlight for me. And the impact that we have, you know, sometimes you work, and you don't really think that people are being impacted. But anytime one of our entrepreneurs reaches out to me and says, hey, this has really helped me, I've gone from A to B, that always brings me joy. So yeah, those are my two big, that's why I keep doing what I do.
Favorite book?
Can't say, because I think all books are so interesting, but the Bible's always a winner because it has every genre.
And no competition.
And no competition. It's a must read. Like, even if you're not a believer, like if you're into crime, drama, sex, music, miracles, literally just pick a topic, business, pick a topic, and there is something about it in there, you know. So in that way, I think it's unrivaled, and it's a book I keep coming back to always.
What should we look out for when it comes to you?
So personally, a lot of people have been asking me about doing more coaching with me, particularly around becoming an author and a speaker. I have heard, I have listened. So this year I'm launching the AGY Speakers and Authors Program. So if you do want to become an author or a professional speaker, look out for that. It's going to be an online course, so you can join from absolutely anywhere. And we will be learning how to get to the place where you are published or you are booking your first speaking gig, and I wish you success in that.
How do you make time for fun, Ntsiki?
So if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably guilty of working around the clock at very ungodly hours. But I think you can work anytime. I believe in working when there's flow to work and then pausing when you need a break. But I equally also believe in scheduled breaks, and being in the pool is literally, or just even around water, is where I go to zen and unwind. So
yo, Ntsiki, this is your life.
It's my happy case, but yes.
This is what life on a farm looks like.
Hold on.
Okay. How often do you do this?
Every day, weather permitting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very important part for just like general fitness. Also, I just find being in the water is an easy way to exercise, so it doesn't feel like a lot of pressure to be in the gym. And it's low impact, and it's a full body workout, so easy enough.
Is this why mental health is an important thing for you?
Absolutely. I think as a founder, finding ways to take care of yourself and to prioritize spaces where you feel good and spaces where you're feeling your best, so you can show up in the world the way that you need to, is great. And it also helps because I started freediving, so extra swims are necessary.
Freediving is where we're going next.
Yes, that is.
Why is it an important thing to you?
So I've been on this journey of mental health and stepping into my power. I went through like bit of a traumatic situation, and my therapist suggested doing stuff that makes me feel strong in my body. And I'm also terrified of the ocean, but I love the ocean. So in my mind, I was like, well, I guess if I can just swim better, I'll be fine in the ocean. But I know the ocean is always going to be stronger than me. But I took up free diving, so it's really just nice to build up a new skill, to learn how to be underwater and to build confidence underwater. And the best part is the fact that like it's helped me to synchronize with my nervous system and just be able to calm myself when needed.
Did it work?
Yes. It did.
All right, so that's where we're going next right now.
See you at freediving.
Where are we?
So we are at Bass Lake, where I come freediving.
What's that?
So freediving is unlike scuba diving. It's when you go underwater, but you go as far as you can on a single breath. So if you come with me, I'll show you some stuff you need to be able to do that. So generally, when you're freediving, you use fins like this, which help you kick, and these ones are made from plastic. You have your mask and your snorkel, and if you want to use the Rolls Royce of fins, then you'll get these ones, which are made from fiberglass, but asikho lapho. So today I am doing part of my open water certification. You need a weight belt, which helps you to stay down. But because I haven't invested in fins yet, I'm going to be scuba diving. I'm going to be free diving in my scuba fins. So wish me luck.
Is it safe?
It is. You just need to kick harder to get to where you want to go.
How deep do you go?
So to pass the entry-level freediving certification, you need to make it down to 10 meters, but equalizing is a challenge. So I've only been able to make it down to 5 meters.
And you hold your breath.
Yep.
5 meters in.
No, you hold your breath from the beginning all the way down to 5 meters and back up.
How long does it take you to set up?
So
To get all dressed up?
So it's not long at all. So today I'm only diving in a swimming costume because it's pretty hot. But generally you would free dive in a free diving suit, which is the same as a scuba suit. They just vary in terms of thickness. But in general, in South Africa, you can free dive anywhere with a suit that is 5 millimeters thick. But we will see how today goes with these little things over here. And part of the technique is just like learning how to put on your weight belt in the water, save somebody underwater so that you can be a safety buddy, and then also learning how to adjust your weight belt so that you are not too buoyant and have enough weight on you to go down. Yeah. So I'm just setting up my weight belt, and I'm putting just like, we call these teeth, and this just helps your weight belt not to move. So because I'm diving in my swimming costume, I don't need weights. I'm just putting a weight on there so I can do my technique of putting a weight out in the water.
There's a lot of people here. Is this a fun weekend spot for many?
It is. There's people that come here and they do, so there's a bunch of, the surface looks empty, but underneath there's a bunch of scuba divers. There are some mermaids as well, so people come with their mermaid tails and they do their stuff in the water. And then there's a couple of families fishing as well, so there's always good stuff to do at Bass Lake.
How does someone find this place?
I suppose if you live in the community, you know about it. But if people are part of the diving community, then you just look up places where you can go diving. I'm going to do my awkward walk today in my fins. And luckily they're scuba fins, so they're much shorter, so it's easier to walk in there.
How do you prepare to get into the water?
Okay, so you see my scuba mask, it has toothpaste in it. So after every dive, you wash your mask with soap, shampoo, and then body, any kind of liquid soap. And then you put toothpaste in it so that your mask doesn't fog up. There's other stuff that you can buy on the market that prevents your mask from fogging up, but toothpaste is pretty easy and it does the same job. So,
You put toothpaste on there.
yeah. So you just wash this. I mean, there is like a type of anti-fog paste that you can buy, and then there's an anti-fog spray. And then if you are among the brave, you can just spit in your mask. But I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So once you have a clean mask, you pop that on.
How's everyone doing? Everyone doing well? Okay, so we're going to move on to the next skill.
And then
Swap boys.
enter the snorkel,
And you
and you are good to go.
want to show you and remind you what
I guess we'll see you jump in.
Yeah.
get closest to the watch.
Cool. So it's just always good to test that your snorkel is where you need it.
You have to go down to 6 to do this.
And just make sure you don't have any hair in your mask, otherwise water will get in. And I will see you on the other side.